I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Today's episode is straight up me giving myself my flowers. If you don't like people who salute themselves, this might not be the video for you. But for everyone else, let's talk. Marc and his wife, Dr. Melissa Val, and yes, I'm putting respect on her name, are opening doors on their podcast that I don't know if they are fully ready for, if we are ready for, or if the community is ready for. And honestly, putting this behind a paywall was a very smart move, because the conversations they're having, whew. Now, I'm not some hyper-political guy. I really don't care about people's politics unless it directly impacts my life. Vote how you vote. But if you're a governor or sitting in the Senate, then yeah, I'm paying attention. That said, I did find it interesting that Marc and Melissa openly admitted that as they've gotten older and more successful, they feel themselves leaning more Republican. And anytime politics comes up, Marc always jokes that he can tell who in the room voted for Trump. Again, don't care who you voted for, but I clocked it. Now here's the part that actually made me stop and rewind. Marc admitted that before they were married, he borrowed money from Melissa, enough money that it came up naturally in conversation. He tried to brush it off with, "Yeah, it happened, but I paid you back." And sure, he did, but I took a big note from that moment. Because suddenly I realized something. The whole financial abuse conversation people love to throw around, that narrative doesn't apply to Marc, and there are two ways to read that situation. One, Marc isn't broke, let's be real, so this could have been a test, a temperature check. Is she here for me or for what I bring? Is she solid or just enjoying the access? Asking for money is a quick way to see where someone really stands. He paid it back, but it took a month, which tells me it wasn't pocket change. Or two, maybe he actually was in a different space in life, dating around and then met Dr. Melissa Val, and she changed everything. And if that's the case, that explains why you marry someone like that. But either way, that moment holds weight. It also made me think back to that basketball game when Marc's wife, Dr. Melissa, came to watch Marc play, and Melissa Ford was there. And listen, Dr. Val is beautiful, but she also looks like she could absolutely whoop somebody's ass. She has that "don't try me" energy. And it's one thing to run into an ex, it's another thing when someone can mentally say, "I helped you when you needed it, before we were official." That kind of history becomes leverage, not spoken aloud, but understood. And suddenly, a lot of Marc's on-air debates make more sense, because if you pay attention, many of those spirited discussions end with her winning. This is the part people don't like to talk about when they say, happy wife, happy life. When one partner has more financial stability, more education, fewer public mistakes, fewer burned bridges, that imbalance matters. And at some point, the other person realizes we're not equals in this moment, and they adjust. They're having those conversations over there, and because both of them are so articulate, it doesn't sound messy, but if you listen closely, the layers are there. Now, let's talk content for a second. Every Monday, I go in a specific order, JBP to Marc's show to Emanny's show. I save Emanny for last because his is usually the longest, and because I've figured out Joe's formula, and trust me, that's a whole separate video. But what surprised me? I'm no longer most excited for the JBP. I'm more locked into Marc's show and Emanny's show. And since they all drop on the same day, I line them up. Marc and Melissa are talking about money, relationships, boundaries, the real stuff that breaks families and friendships. And I'm sitting there like, damn, this is grown conversation. Because money will end relationships faster than cheating ever could. I've said this before, I don't lend money, I give it. And it's a character test. If you ever give it back, you'll forever have a special place with me. If you don't, that was the cost of knowing you. No resentment, no pressure. Then I go over to Emanny's show, and he's talking about the same exact themes. And guess who he brings on? A woman named Kristen. I might be slightly off on the name, but the point stands. Emanny has an established platform, and I predicted this a year ago. I'll probably drop that clip at the end of this video. They're talking about Patreon, and Ish is like, should I start one? Yes, immediately, because Patreon could change all of their lives. And what I really noticed, Ish opens up way more on Emanny's platform than he ever does on the JBP. That's rapport. That's respect. Ish might view Joe differently financially, but in terms of character, I honestly think Ish rocks with Emanny the most. And when Parks went on Emanny's show, I expected Emanny to lead, but it was mutual, because Parks genuinely likes him. He always mentions hanging out, events, showing up, and if you've ever been close to white associates, you know this. They notice who shows up. Invitations matter. Presence matters. Emanny and Parks are locked in, and you can see it. Emanny is pulling in Sasha, pulling in people from the JBP universe, and notice who hasn't been on yet. But that's another conversation. So yeah, I really want Ish to make a Patreon, because if I'm getting this version of him, I'll happily pay for that content. Competition is happening inside their own ecosystem, and Joe probably didn't expect that. And yes, I always bring up Flip because I warned about this. There's a clip where I broke all of this down months ago, and everything I said is unfolding in real time. I've been enjoying Marc's Patreon way more than I expected. I originally subscribed because y'all, the JBP community, have supported my channel heavily. And Marc shouting me out again? That wasn't random. Let me clear something up. That conversation happened exactly how I said it did, almost word for word. I'm not exaggerating. But here's the real question y'all should be asking. Why did Marc ask me about my Patreon numbers? I'll let you connect those dots. I appreciate all the love y'all keep showing the channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. And since I've been talking about Patreon all video, go check out mine. I'm dropping some tea about yesterday's episode, and my take is not what the majority is saying. Y'all already know how we rock.
And that further ties into this point. Emanny, stand on your own too. Continue to do what you do at the JBP, because I'm going to be honest. I'm a real nigga and I can stand on what I say. I don't think you know this though, so hopefully you're hearing what I'm saying. You're a handsome dude, you're charismatic, you can sing, so you're talented. Stop holding yourself back. This is what happens with a lot of us. We'll fall off and we will forget the confidence that we once had in fucking middle school or high school type shit. The confidence that you had as a kid, you need to regain that so you're able to take risks and you're able to do things for yourself so you can provide for yourself. Even if it's Uber, don't let a nigga knock you for Uber. I made $85K last year DoorDashing and Ubering and doing favor. That's something here in Texas. On top of landscaping, don't let no nigga tell you you can't do anything on your own because they're funding you at the moment. Take that risk. I guarantee you, if this adult shit pops off, we're not going to see the same Emanny. Once Emanny gets that confidence that he can take care of himself, not with the handout, not with the help of somebody else or any assistance. Once he gets the confidence to realize he could do it on his own, we're going to see a completely different Emanny. He's going to take off. Everyone on the JBP that has the most potential, I feel it's Emanny, because he's not really at celebrity status yet, but he has the charisma to be there. And if he could figure out how to weave better in his podcasting, I feel like Emanny could go through the roof. But it starts within. Flip would not be able to get any of this shit off if you didn't go in the room or do any of the other ventures with Flip. Flip comes to you. Flip is the type of nigga to go to niggas every time because he knows those niggas are relying on him for a check. Don't let Flip view you in that light, Emanny. You were already on the JBP before Flip came. Don't let him view you in that light. Stop letting this nigga belittle you. Nigga, I'm poor, broke, not me, but Emanny. I'm poor and broke and still live the life that you want to live. You can't be me even with bread. Emanny, you need to tell this nigga that. You need to tell this nigga that. And a lot of us need to start telling people, you understand me? I'm me, whether you're here or not. I get frustrated seeing shit like this happen because, like I said, I was once this nigga, dog. I was once this nigga. And then something clicked. Wait. I go to work 40 hours a week. I'm only making like $20 an hour. That's $800 a week. I can't make $800 a week on my own. Enough to the point where somebody can't tell me you're late, you're 2 minutes late. Why didn't you clean up this area, or why didn't you do this, or whatever field you work in. I can't make $800 a week. And Joe, these niggas are saying they're getting 20K. I don't think you're getting 20K a month. So whatever accumulative number you're getting monthly, think in your head, I can't do that a week. I seen your YouTube page, nigga. You got 10K damn near subs. I make 2K a month doing what I do, nigga. I could only imagine if you actually started trying again, what the fuck you could do. Stop letting niggas speak to you like this, but it starts from within. It starts from within.